Sodium. Sodium replaces the aging graphics engine inside Minecraft with a modernized rendering pipeline. Instead of calculating how to draw blocks using the default unoptimized code, it completely rewrites how graphical tasks are fed into the GPU. Think of the upgrade like replacing a single-lane road to the processor with a wide, multi-lane highway. This mod batches rendering operations together by compressing world geometry, skipping rendering a lot of animations and objects hidden to the player, all to dramatically cut down on the workload placed on the RAM and CPU. This approach is known as culling and results in massive frame rate increases, completely cuts out micro stuttering, and stabilizes frame pacing even on low-end computer systems. Because it only focuses on rendering efficiency without changing vanilla mechanics, it is fully allowed in speedrunning communities. Sodium Extra. Sodium Extra integrates into Sodium directly to restore detailed visual settings and offer additional interface elements. It adds toggles for specific particle effects, animations, and overlays that the base game and Sodium hides or simplifies. By allowing the user to disable individual rendering tasks like whether particles or specific ambient animations, it reduces video memory usage and helps squeeze out extra FPS on highly constrained or lower-end setups. Sodium Extra also provides a simple, toggleable in-game HUD to display advanced FPS info and coordinates so you don't have to have the cluttered F3 screen open all the time. Indium. Indium acts as a rendering bridge between the custom graphics pipeline and the overarching Fabric API. It functions as a digital translator, ensuring that complex visual requests from other mods are correctly understood by the new rendering engine. On its own, it doesn't really increase FPS, but its main purpose is to enable seamless visual compatibility for other mods that add connected textures, custom block models, and dynamic lighting without completely crashing the game. Note that this mod is only primarily required for older game versions, as newer Sodium versions as of 0.6.0 and above already include this compatibility natively. ImmediatelyFast. ImmediatelyFast targets the immediate mode rendering pipeline used for drawing entities, particles, and user interfaces. It intercepts how the program draws these dynamic elements and packages them into a custom buffer, batching multiple draw cells into a single massive upload to the GPU. So imagine taking a dozen separate ships to carry cargo versus carrying it all at once in a single massive container. This drastically reduces processor bottlenecks when looking at massive crowds of creatures, complex text displays, or cluttered storage rooms full of entities and containers. Frame rates can easily double in busy multiplayer servers just by preventing the CPU from waiting on individual rendering instructions. The software is explicitly structured to remain lightweight and highly compatible with custom HUD mods. EntityCulling. EntityCulling prevents a computer from drawing entities and complex block models that are physically hidden behind solid walls. It utilizes an asynchronous path tracing algorithm to cast invisible rays from the camera, detecting if an object is actually visible before sending it to the graphics card. If a cavern full of mobs is completely walled off by stone, the software simply skips the mathematical instructions required to animate and render them. This directly lowers processor and graphics utilization, eliminating severe lag spikes in crowded bases or massive creature farms. More culling. More culling alters how the game processes block face, map, and item frame visibility. It aggressively trims away the unseen backsides of overlapping blocks so the vanilla game lazily continues to render. This yields smoother, consistent frame rates in dense environments without altering any visual quality. It also applies this custom culling on things like item frames and beacon beams, fixing a notoriously laggy vanilla mechanic. More culling basically applies culling for blocks, while entity culling targets entities, so these mods are frequently and should be used together. Lithium. Lithium optimizes core server logic, including mob AI, game physics, and block ticking. It replaces a sluggish, single-threaded algorithms that govern how creatures pathfind and how entities collide with more highly optimized mathematical equivalents. Instead of checking every single geometric possibility for a mob's movement, for example, it streamlines the logic to find the correct path in a fraction of the time. This drastically lowers the server tick time and processor load, ensuring the game maintains a stable 20 ticks per second even with complex machinery running. It operates strictly as an internal code improvement, meaning it leaves vanilla mechanics completely untouched and only needs a server to run it and doesn't require clients to download it. The implementation guarantees that mechanics like redstone timing and creature spawning behave exactly as intended. C2ME. C2ME, or Concurrent Chunk Management Engine, completely overhauls the chunk generation and loading engine to take full advantage of modern multi-core processors. Vanilla Minecraft is notoriously poor at utilizing hardware, forcing all-terrain mathematical calculations through a single processing thread. C2ME breaks this limitation by parallelizing the workload, splitting world generation, lighting calculations, and data loading across every single available CPU core. This allows new environments to generate exponentially faster, eliminating the severe lag spikes caused by flying or exploring too quickly. Chunky. Chunky is not really an optimization mod by itself, but rather a utility mod designed to efficiently pre-generate world data within a defined radius. It forces the server to do all the heavy lifting of world generation in advance before players ever set foot in the area. It runs an automated task that artificially loads, generates, and saves chunks in a specified radius directly to the storage drive. This entirely eliminates the massive processor spikes caused by real-time terrain generation, keeping server server performance perfectly stable when you explore the world. It provides useful command features to pause, resume, or limit the radius of pre-generation, making it an absolute necessity for launching new multiplayer worlds, or even single-player worlds if you want the smoothest possible experience. FerriteCore. FerriteCore fundamentally changes how the software stores block states, models, and chunk data in the system's active memory. It identifies duplicate data structures in the Java heap and forces the engine to share a single reference instead of creating millions of identical copies. Essentially, it behaves like a file compression tool running constantly in the background, shrinking the overall memory footprint by up to 50%. This directly prevents out-of-memory crashes and drastically reduces the massive stuttering caused by the Java garbage collector cleaning up wasted space. This mod is practically required if you want to run heavy mod packs with tons of mods, especially in older hardware setups with limited memory capacity. ModernFix. ModernFix patches dozens of specific memory leaks, code logic bugs, and slow loading routines found throughout the modern application lifecycle. It completely redesigns the asset loading system, replacing the slow static loader with a dynamic version that only pulls models into memory exactly when they're required. This cuts software launch times in half and slashes memory requirements. This allows massive mod packs to run smoothly on just 3 GB of allocated memory, for example, without much compromise. It also implements extensive backports of bug fixes from newer versions of the game to perfectly stabilize older environments. Krypton. Krypton targets the game's networking stack by integrating highly optimized data handlers and flush consolidation. It effectively widens the digital highway between the host and the client, smoothing out severe traffic jams of incoming game data. This lowers server processor usage, slashes bandwidth consumption, and heavily mitigates connection lag or hit drag issues during combat. While it is primarily designed to maximize hardware efficiency on the server, installing it on the client ensures the fastest network translation possible. VeryManyPlayers. VeryManyPlayers restructures internal entity tracking and server mechanics to handle extremely high player densities. It prevents the processor from overloading by optimizing how the game calculates collisions and updates when dozens of players gather in the same exact physical location. This eliminates cascading tick rate drops and severe lag spikes during massive multiplayer events or inside crowded hubs. It acts strictly on the server side and pairs exceptionally well with other performance-enhancing network patches. Debugify. Debugify is a compilation mod that implements community-developed patches for dozens of neglected issue tracker bugs. It acts as a centralized exterminator, squashing annoying glitches natively so users don't have to install separate individual patches. This provides a highly stable, glitch-free experience across both clients and servers while improving overall performance. It even allows the users to individually toggle each specific bug fix on or off. DynamicFPS. DynamicFPS continuously monitors whether the game window is currently active, unfocused, or completely hidden. It operates like a smart thermostat, instantly throttling rendering speed and pausing resource usage when the user tabs out of the game. This drastically reduces system load and heavily mitigates battery drain on laptops when leaving the game running in the background. It allows users to individually customize the exact frame rate and volume levels applied during inactive states. Please like if you enjoyed the video, and if you learned something new, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.